Hello fam, how are you all doing? Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe. Thank you. The consequences of depending on a man to provide for you 100%. Let's have a look at this video.
Life is so funny because like one day you're living in a $10,000 a month apartment and like getting to do whatever you want and eating at Michelin star restaurants all the time and going on a vacation to the Amman Hotel in Sri Lanka and then extending the trip and going to Singapore and staying at the Ritz-Carlton, and you're with this man who you think you're going to marry, and he's made you financially dependent on him over the course of the relationship, and then you get into a fight one night and he turns ice cold and cuts you off financially completely, and you have no cards because you've been using his card, so you don't have any money on you. And while you're sleeping, has his friend go over to the apartment that you guys have shared since like the lease began and moved in together, and like it was our apartment, and has his friend pack up all of your stuff and then drop it outside of your friend's apartment in his hallway. Says find your way back to New York, and it's January, so when I get back to New York I will have technically nowhere permanent to live, and there's absolutely nothing I can do because I wasn't on the lease and he was calculating in that, and obviously this is partially my fault for making the mistake of becoming financially dependent on someone when I really didn't need to. Like, I had a career, I had tons of friends, I was happy. Yeah, we'll see. Technically nowhere permanent to live.
All right, listen, I got a lot to say about this because I've made countless videos talking about how I personally think these girls who make these provider videos, they live in fantasy world, because this is the harsh reality of you getting a provider man. If I played the video a little bit too fast, this girl was dating an extremely rich guy, and she forgot, I guess, halfway through the relationship that she thought this is her new life because she thought she was going to marry this guy. But it didn't occur to her that that money, that experience, everything you're getting to enjoy is just because of him. It's not because of you. You have no way of making money. These experiences were all through this guy. One line that I really dislike that she says in the beginning of the video is her saying, well, this man made me financially dependent on him. Man, nobody can make you financially dependent. You chose to not go and entertain your own career and make progress in your own career because you thought this man was going to be your Superman. You thought that this man was going to be there, you were going to marry him, and you never have to work again and get all of your resources, money, and everything through him. That's what you thought. Nobody forces you to just not go and, make progress in your own career. And this is my whole entire point. Like, listen, I don't know if this girl was told by the boyfriend to not work or whatever the deal is, but the point is she didn't work for probably years. She doesn't have a way of making a stable income. Her name wasn't on the lease, and now she's shocked and baffled because she was in the honeymoon stage. Now, when they had a simple argument or a big argument, that all of that stuff it's gone. Because this is why I make the provider videos that I do, because these girls live in a completely delusional and fantasy world where I don't know if they've never had an experience where you think you know somebody really well and it just goes a different direction. But why would you ever want to put yourself in a situation where you are reliant, completely reliant, whether it's on your living situation, financially, like pretty much everything you're relying on a man for, just praying that this relationship doesn't go south, even though divorces are at like 75% right now. Because the common argument whenever I make these videos warning girls about being in that provider lifestyle is like, oh, you just couldn't provide for a girl. You just couldn't do it. It's like, I've never made a girl do that. But trust me, I think it's embarrassing if I ever met a girl in real life and she said, no, it's your job. It's your job to provide for me. I'd be like, oh yeah, you're not ambitious. I'm not dating a child. Because while I do have a little bit of empathy for this girl, like I'm sure she's probably so sad that this relationship is over, the one thing I don't think this girl ever thought of is that all of those experiences that she's naming as if it was hers was never hers. Those were experiences that you got to obtain because of that man. It was never yours. It's like if I was dating a girl whose dad owned Yankee Stadium and I got a bunch of Yankees tickets, and then all of a sudden me and the girl break up, and then I'm like, what? I can't go to Yankees games anymore? I had the Yankees tickets because I was dating a girl whose dad owns the Yankees. I didn't actually do that, but you know my point. Moral of the story here is, while it might feel good to have a provider man, it can go south very, very quickly, and it can be very, very stressful, because this is a harsh reality of what happens 90% of the time in these provider relationships, or you're going to have to share your boyfriend or, husband, because these guys cheat a lot. But that's just my opinion. But hey, what do you think?
I'm glad we are hearing this from a man. Do not depend on anyone to feed you 100%. Whoever feeds you controls you. The lady was talking about the man being calculative. That's human nature. Men are human. Men can betray the way your female friends can betray you, the way your family can betray you. Men can also betray you. Men can hurt you the way your family can hurt you, the way your female friend can hurt you. Men can be envious. Men can be jealous. Men are humans. I don't know why we don't see it that way. It's like once you have a romantic relationship with a man, you forget that that man has got human tendencies. And it's important for us to have this at the back of our mind and deal with men that way. Having an understanding that humans can fail, men can fail, is important for us to know that we cannot trust anyone 100%, even if the person is feeding us. You cannot carry your survivor and hand it over to a man because the man claims to love you. That's risky. A lot of ladies do this and I don't understand it. When you've got legs, hands, you can work, you can do something. Why can't you do something for yourself? No, you want to live the baby girl's life for someone else to sponsor that. Do you know a lot of provider men are not happy providing? They resent the ladies they are providing for. Do you know that? If you don't know, I'm telling you, a lot of them don't feel good doing what you're doing. A lot of them feel obligated to do that. So a lot of them is a flex. So they feel like they have to do that. But deep inside, they're not happy doing it. And a lot of provider men are cheats. Because to them, they believe you're there with them because of the money. They don't think you genuinely care about them. So because of that, they don't really hold the relationship to heart the way you do or you might do. So if you want to have a real concrete relationship with a man that is a human, expecting that man to be a provider man 100% is the wrong step in the wrong direction, because you're already creating an imbalance in that relationship. You're taking away that partnership aspect from it. And I'm not in any way saying that when you get into a partnership relationship, you and your partner should do 50-50. 50-50 can never work with a woman, especially if that woman has a child, because you can't split everything in middle 50-50. No. It's going to be unfair to the woman because a man cannot have a baby. Anyways, I don't want to deviate. Let's go back to the topic. So expecting a man to feed you 100% as an adult is a delusional mindset to have. It's not reality. Of course, it might be playing out in real time for people, but I tell you, it comes with its dark side, its negative side, its consequences, its disadvantages, which all the time outweighs the good in it. So you have to tell yourself the real truth. Go out there and get a job. She abandoned her career to be with a man because the man showed her some money. Quite an interesting post. Some men are impossible. So he has a child that is sick, a child that is down with pneumonia, and he's busy helping a 21 years old stripper neighbor. Let's watch this video.
I'm sure if she says anything about it, he's going to say that she's being insecure and try to make her feel like she's just jealous or intimidated by the other woman because she's younger or because she's a stripper. I hate to say it, but there are a lot of men out there who will not do a good deed for a woman unless they think they're getting something in return. He wants something, even if it's just her attention. He wants to keep doing all these favors for her, and then she's going to feel like she owes him, and he only wants her to pay in one way. This is how some women typically catch a man who's cheating or wants to cheat. His behavior changes. All of a sudden, this man who weaponizes incompetence inside and outside the home is shoveling driveways in the middle of the night. You don't shovel our own driveway in the middle of the night. These are all red flags. Some men are genuine when they try to help a single woman and they don't want her. They just genuinely want to help her. But don't ignore your gut feeling and your women's intuition screaming at you if something doesn't feel right. Is it okay for your husband or boyfriend or partner to do a good deed for a single neighbor every now and then? Sure, why not? But the issue comes in when they just want it to be just the two of them, where they never include you, where she makes no effort to get to know you or introduce herself, or he makes no effort to interact with her in front of you. For all you know, that man is telling her you're his sister. You gotta think back to when your man first pursued you. He started off with good deeds, right? Right.
The good Samaritan neighbor. This one is messy. First off, the fact that their baby is sick and the husband chooses to be out there in the middle of the night shoveling snow for a neighbor, especially one who is a 21 years old stripper, is highly suspicious. His priorities are way off here. Obviously, a sick baby should come first, no questions asked. And then the another favor part. That just adds layers to the issue, and I wonder, another favor, how many favor has he done for her? Is this a habit? Is this something he does on a regular basis? Is this about being a good neighbor, or is there something more going on? Either way, it's disrespectful to his wife and the entire family situation. The big lesson here is about boundaries and priorities in relationship. The husband clearly crossed the line by prioritizing the neighbor over the family, especially when a sick baby is at home. It's not just about him shoveling snow, it's about the underlying message his actions send. He's obviously saying that his family is not a priority to him. What do you think that man might want from the neighbor? Do you think he's just doing it because he feels she needs help? Is that what you think? I don't think so. A lot of men don't do free service. Once you see a man being so nice to a lady, there's a probability that that man wants something more. Don't forget, this lady is a stripper, and strippers are always looking sexy because it's part of their business. So as for what he wants from that neighbor, it's hard not to raise an eyebrow. The late night timing, the repeated favors like the woman noted, and her being a stripper, it seems like that man is seeking for attention, validation, or even something inappropriate. Either way, it's shady, it's disrespectful to his wife and their relationship. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying men should not assist if they feel they need to, but when it becomes a habit, that's where the problem is. The wife said another favor. That means that's not the first time. And for the fact that she feels a certain type of way towards that gesture he's rendering towards that lady, for the fact that she felt the need to film it and put it on social media to hear people's view, it means that it's something that has been ongoing. She said another favor. So it's obvious that something else might be going on. To me, that's how I feel. And I feel the wife, she feels same. The key word here is boundary. Men should know where to draw the line.
This is so embarrassing. We don't care about you replacing us. We care about the women you're replacing us with, because we know that as far as your ability to leverage your power and privilege and money over them, that they are in a terrible position with you, because we know what you're like. Nobody wants you. Nobody's in competition for you. Because we care about women who you exploit no matter where they're from, right? What we want you, like, there's been all this talk about like AI and AI robot girlfriends replacing women for lonely men. Please, can they give you all the AI robots and leave women alone?
This conversation is more about passport bro. So this man is claiming that Western women are upset that they are replacing them with women from other continents, other part of the world. He's saying that the same Western women that said they were done with men are the ones angry that those men are replacing them with women from other culture and other nationality. Do you think that's true? Do you think Western women are upset that they are being replaced by other women? No. Rather, they are concerned. That's my own observation. This is my own take. They are not upset at what those men are doing. They are concerned for those women. They are worried for those women. The reason why they are worried for the women they are picking up from other continents and other nationality is because they understand that those passport bros are the lowest of the low when it comes to character. The reason why they were able to run away from the Western women is because they didn't have the character. They refused to be responsible and accountable. So knowing what those passport bros are capable of, Western women are just worried for the women that those passport bros are picking up. You can't change them. People don't change overnight. And they understand that those men are still who they are. They might camouflage for a given period of time. It's just a matter of time you get to see their true color. So they're just worried how those women are going to cope with those bad eggs called passport bro. I get her point and I agree with her. A lot of men can't survive without women. We've said this a lot. Marriage benefits men more than it benefits women. Men are looking for women to take care of them after their mothers have done their bit. They're being encouraged to go get women as wives to continue from where their moms stop. We see this a lot. So because of that, a lot of men cannot survive. And once they don't have a woman in their life, it becomes loneliness epidemic. A lot of men are lonely. They can't survive not having a woman in their life. If you go to hospice home, care homes, men are dying lonely. And we know why. Most of those men had bad characters. They didn't treat people right. They were selfish, all about themselves. They didn't care about their wives. They didn't care about their children. They were after chasing women, sleeping with a lot of women, and hurting the people they had in their lives. They didn't take time out to think about their actions, reflect, and even consider making changes or making amends. They never did. So because of that, people abandoned them. And when it comes to building connection with other men struggle with that because the society did not groom them or condition them to learn how to build tangible, good relationship with people. So yeah, a lot of men are lonely. A lot of men can't survive if they don't have women in their lives. So that's why you're having those passport bros moving across countries to find women. It shows you how important women are to men. It's like they can't breathe without women. So if you have a passport bro coming to you in your country and asking you to marry him, this is not something for you to be excited about and jump at, because those men believe that they've got the passport, so they have the power. They've got the money, they have the power. So when they come to you, they're often condescending. Oh, I have money, I'm better than you, I'm superior. It's not a good situation to be in. And to them, they feel like money should fix everything. And it's really hard to be in a relationship with someone like that, because that person is not going to be accountable. Ask them, why did they move away from their own country? The reason is obvious. Because the women over there wasn't taking their BS. So they're looking for women that would accept their BS. That's how men are. A lot of men, that's how they are. They don't want to make effort, but they're looking for women that will accept them the way they are, with their baggages and shortcomings. So passport bros, most of them are bad omen. If you would love to watch more videos like this, please click this video to watch how some men exploit high achieving women for their wealth. And I will see you all in the next one.